Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Redeemables podcast, a podcast where we take movies that ranked 50 or below on Metacritic and decide whether to say, yeah, that was a pretty good movie, or nail them to the cross. With me, as always, I'm with my co-hosts and co-friends, the last of the Mohicans, Ben.
Good one. Yep.
And the guy who's the president of Smurfs Are Real, Kennedy. I love that group, Ken. It's really good.
Send me an invite.
I saw one once, and I've never forgot it. When I was 4 years old, and ever since then, I've been the president.
Yeah, was it hiding under a toadstool?
President and only member.
Today we are doing the film Armageddon, 1998 smashing hit.
Life is short.
I love you.
Love is forever.
Will you marry me?
Gracie grew up to become a full-blown hottie.
You're talking about my little girl, all right?
But you never know what the future holds until it hits.
It's a meteor shower.
This new one you're tracking, how big?
It's what we call a global killer. Nothing would survive, not even bacteria.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
You think we'll get hazard pay out of this?
Right. Excited? So on Metacritic, it was 42.
42.
42 is not bad, and user score.
It is. It's quite bad. That's
it?
why it's here. That's why we're doing it.
Where the movies I was looking at, it's quite good.
Yeah.
Some of my all-time top 10. It actually is the highest scoring.
Mine always 48, so I was just expecting you to say 48.
Yeah, I'll say it's 40. Users rating is 67, which is I expected more.
I would have thought higher.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go straight into the wiki. Armageddon is a 1998 American sci-fi disaster movie produced and directed by Michael Bay and produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer.
God, I love when you see the Bruckheimer, the highway. I think I've mentioned it before.
Yeah. Always turn the volume up and just hear the fucking
It's
light.
the same as saying Whoopi Goldberg in the credits. You know it's going to be great.
I've never watched one of her films. Are they good?
I like Sister Act.
I like The View. Sorry,
Wiki.
you're doing the wiki?
No,
my bad.
And starting again? No,
No,
just
no,
go from
just
the middle.
let's go from the
Calm
front.
down, everyone. The film follows a group of blue-collar, deep-core drillers sent by NASA to stop a gigantic asteroid
Roughnecks.
on a collision course with the Earth. It stars Bruce Willis, and I added this bit in, and a fuck ton of amazing co-stars, a truly underrated cast.
Did you actually edit the wiki to say that? Because that would be amazing.
I added the extra bit of wiki.
Yeah, no, you should go online, pay your money.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
How does it work? How do you edit?
I don't actually know.
Can you write anything and they
You can.
go, how does it become like,
I don't know.
how does it get to the, front page wiki?
I don't know.
Look it up.
People edit shit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, the cast, man. Oh,
What did it say on the poster?
the tagline. Here's a real true. I found let's count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I found four taglines.
Well, you must find so many.
So I'm going to read them out and you guys can choose the best one.
Thanks.
Armageddon. It's closer than you think.
Yeah, don't mind it.
I like the voice more than the tagline. That was amazing. Go again.
For love, for honor, for mankind.
Really good as well. It's so cheesy. I love it.
Prepare to fight like there's no tomorrow.
They're good.
And this is my favorite one. This is the one I ticked. The Earth's darkest day will become man's finest hour.
They're all really good.
Yeah.
Which one do you reckon?
The last one.
Was it?
Yeah.
What was the second and last one again? I felt like that one got me.
That one's called Prepare to Fight Like There's No Tomorrow.
No, the second last one.
Yeah, that's it. That's
was
the
it?
last one, yeah.
No,
Are you thinking for love, for honor,
Yeah.
for mankind?
Yeah.
The IMD one is...
That sums it up, tonally.
It's closer than you think on IMDb, and I was like, no fucking way.
No,
That's the
no,
real
that was
tagline.
Armageddon is closer than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's the weakest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's the last one.
Yep.
Anyway.
Some great ones there, though.
Also, once again, great voice. Loved it.
Thank you.
Loved
Thank
it.
you.
How much did it cost to make?
140 million.
Fuck. Was it? Was that the budget?
Is huge.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Massive.
Well, they had to fire rockets up into space again. That's not cheap.
True.
Yeah.
Michael Bay believes in realism.
Fuck, 90, what was it, 98?
98, man. That's
$98
huge.
too.
140 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Adjusted for inflation.
So you're asking me what it did GBO?
What do you reckon it did, GBO?
It was one of the biggest blockbusters of the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go...
Go big.
300.
Oh shit! Have you gone anywhere near the 300 mark?
Nowhere near it.
Nowhere near.
I reckon I've done 150 as my highest previous to this.
Jesus.
But this was up there. This was
Yeah.
like Jurassic Park, Independence Day, Armageddon.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good era.
I'm going to say just 260 million.
All right. Well, believe it or not, it made $554 million globally.
Wee.
Is that including like the Aerosmith dollars? That's a fucking lot of money.
That is heaps.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a marketing juggernaut.
Yeah.
It just went.
It was. I remember it.
Because
remember it.
Deep Impact came out in June that year.
Yeah.
Was
And
it the same year?
Yeah, there was a run of this happening, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
I knew it
White
was
House
around the
now,
same,
yeah.
but like a month apart.
You'd
Yeah.
be fucking pissed off if you're making Deep Impact and your budget was like 50 million.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
found out
I've
Michael
got-
Bay and Bruckheimer are throwing
Yeah.
140
Got the budget for
And Deep Impact. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, look at this guy.
The budget for Deep Impact was $75 million. So
Okay.
it's still not a fucking.
It's still a big movie.
Yeah,
But half.
no shuttles.
But it was, they took the shuttles out.
Took the shuttles out, and it's
They
easy
did
to do.
CGI shuttles.
And that made $349 million.
Shit, did it?
So
I didn't know Deep Impact was that much of a blockbuster.
Fucking big year for asteroids.
I'm going to do a tidbit now early, which is not like me, but this was released in August, so 2 months after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what they did is seeing the impact that Deep Impact had. What was it missing? Yeah, sure, it had a father-daughter moment.
Deep Impact.
Yeah,
What
was
was
missing a love story.
Oh, that explains a lot.
And completely different films.
Completely different
One of
films.
them's based in science.
But
And then you've got Deep Impact. Cheers.
so I'll go into that a bit more later. But
Yeah.
there was a market there, and Armageddon just marketed. I reckon 140 million. I reckon 25 million went into just merch and marketing. And
So,
it worked out really well.
It begs the question, like, what kind
And it's based on a true story.
What kind of
It's closer than you think.
what kind of haze? I mean, I know the answer to the question, but this is rhetorical for everybody else. What kind of haze was I in 1998 that I didn't care about this movie? I didn't know. I knew it came out, but
You thought you were better than it.
I gave no fucks. I just
No, that's what it was.
I was in prison.
well, there was that as well.
Watching it on your 24-inch.
Just the NFL channel.
Yeah,
watching
for
the
me it was
gridiron.
huge. The marketing hit me, the dead hoper, right in the guts.
Yeah,
and I
right.
went,
Yeah.
I need to see this movie.
You're the demographic.
Yeah, and I need to see it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing that shut me off was the love story. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like the love story?
nah, it's not for me.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not for me.
I got some thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, so do I.
I like it.
I'm going to keep my powder dry.
Okay, I'm going to go into. Oh, God, look at me firing off.
Yeah,
Just
go.
firing
You're on a
It's
roll.
almost like there's a structure and you're
Firing
following
off.
it.
If this is a Michael Bay movie, you know what would happen right now? Release a fucking cutter! Destroy Beijing! That's kind of the similar thing I'm doing right now. I'm just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a true Michael Bay fashion. So, I did this one. It's a 50, but it resonated with me a lot, and that's why I wanted to do it. And it's also Owen Gilberman.
Oh, Glebe.
Entertainment.
The Glebe.
The Glebe is back.
The Glebe, Glebe.
So he says, Bay doesn't stage scenes exactly. He stages moments. And I went, that's perfect.
Yeah.
For me, if I write that, I'm giving it 99.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie...
What score did he give it?
50.
50,
Oh.
the
So that's a
Glebe.
good one.
Not bad from the Glebe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into the cracking ones, I guess. Robert Ebert.
Oh, you might have heard of him.
Yes. From
Roger Ebert?
Roger Ebert. What'd I say?
Robert's his brother.
Robert, his
movies.
brother from the Chicago Suns fun section. It's an assault in the eyes, the ears, the brain, common sense, and the human desire to be entertained.
Nah, this must be his brother that hates movies.
No, that's
40.
It can't be Rog.
Nah, it's Rog.
And he said, in his all-time most hated movies, this is right
Yeah,
up there.
Rog.
Wow.
Rog is a big plot guy.
And
Okay.
So he's going to have some issues with this movie.
He's
Got
gonna-
Wait a minute. What are you saying? What's wrong with the plot?
the
a
plot's
list.
fine.
I got a list.
The way it's put to you.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
the greatest. Also, Keith Phillips from the AV Club.
Oh, our favourite.
I had to do him.
Yeah.
Bay directs Armageddon in a way that seems more concerned with constantly assaulting the senses than anything else, hoping perhaps the quick cuts and constant explosions will distract from the film's many flaws.
It did. It did. Completely distracted me. Is there flaws?
Yeah, I didn't see any
I
flaws.
didn't see any flaws. I saw a lot of fucking great explosions.
And good old Washington Post.
Oh,
Got to have them, yeah?
Yeah.
I never realised they were so big into the arts.
Crazy. I don't think they've ever gave a movie over 10 because this one's a 0.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
0.
Stephen Hunter.
Oh, Stevie's back.
I hate Stevie.
Yep.
So predictable it could have been written by a chimp who's watched too much TV. This huge movie is as dumb as it is loud, and it's extremely loud. Jesus.
I didn't think it was that predictable.
I didn't
I
think
thought there was
predictable.
I thought there was a fair amount of like little like the final outcome is, but I thought there was a fair amount of twists and turns throughout it.
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on. I didn't find it overly predictable.
Yeah, so that's the reviews from other things.
A chimp. What an arsehole.
Yeah. How does he know? Like, if a movie was written by a chimp that watches heaps of TV, I'd fucking watch it.
It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times.
That's how Planet of the Apes started. So
Where do we start?
What was your for me?
Yes.
The movie was set up right.
Yeah.
It was the start, and 6 minutes and 50 seconds is the first asteroid that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. I
Yeah.
really needed that.
Appreciate it.
And little cameos there from Eddie Griffin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little comedy at the start with
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin. Yeah.
And then also, do you guys remember a show Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
Yeah. He was the taxi driver.
He was the taxi
I know,
driver.
I know,
I
yeah.
want to go shopping too.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. And that's the first set. It's setting up there's an asteroid coming the size of Texas.
It's also setting up the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Like with the comedy and all that sort of stuff. Like, this is going to be light.
There's a lot
You're about to be fucking entertained.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Bay's saying.
So, I again, I'd never seen this before. Fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Really keen to watch this. I thought, okay, let's see what the fuss is about. The explosions and the destruction at the beginning. I love a movie where we're at DEFCON 3 in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If we're announced officially to be at DEFCON 3 in the first, I'm in.
Yeah.
But the Eddie Griffin and the Hanging Mr. Cooper bit was when I started to worry.
Oh, no.
Oh, it took you out of it.
Yeah.
Too much comedy.
I was like, yeah, but it just felt cheesy and a bit like...
That's Michael Bay.
I was just like, what
He
the
likes comedy.
fuck? Yeah, does he though?
I was panicked.
His movies, he's always done comedy throughout all his films.
I'm pardon me for being a snob, but I prefer my comedy to be funny.
Oh, okay, it's like that.
Disagree.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't remember the 90s. We've been over.
So 7 minutes in, it's already pulling at my heartstrings because I'm worried sick about Little Richie.
Yeah.
The dog. Is that the dog, Little Richie?
Yeah.
I was writing that down for my new website about the dog thing.
Fuck.
Remember?
Oh, that's right,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is going to be a good one for to kick off.
Oh,
the
no,
dog.
sorry. I found out that does exist.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a website.
Just
Every
opened
good
last
idea.
week.
Yeah.
Every good idea.
Someone, a keen listener to the pod, alerted me to the fact that that's already a website. I forget the name of the website, but it announces every movie that's got a dog in it and when the dog dies.
Oh,
So you can watch it up until a point.
Yeah. Also, I've got to say, the setup at the beginning with the whole story about the dinosaurs and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was
brilliant.
okay.
I like
I
that.
mean,
And
all the conservative Christians turned off straight away. They're like, fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I really like that, and I like the way it was like old school Armageddon appearing on the screen, then it blows up.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was all
And
right.
because I had
Yeah.
my volume up really high for the Joey Bruckheimer bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was loud. That did assault my ears, and I loved it.
Assault was just.
Assault.
How many cars blew up in the first 5 minutes?
Who cares?
Lots.
Heaps.
No, that
Lots
was
of flipping
I was just like,
cars.
that's when you know you're on a Michael Bay thing.
The best thing for me in that first bit is when the top of that building's falling off and there's two guys in front of the building and it's filmed from you're like on the ground and they're going, ah! And you just see him fucking fall.
Ah,
on the
the
ground.
building for yeah.
Also, yelling in space, that's never happened before. That's crazy. When the asteroids hit that space station and the guy gets hit in the helmet, his mask opens up. He's fine. He's just drifting off. So there's no effect to his face. All the oxygen doesn't get sucked out of him. He's just in space going, ah!
What a way to go!
So that was cool. It set up the movie is in, don't take it too seriously because if you do, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like you'll be the next Glebe.
You'll be writing for the Washington Post in no time.
I'll prepare my resume.
So the second act of the movie.
This is how it's going to go.
Damn it!
It's going to be one of those pods.
Damn it! The second
Old serious BJ.
second act is
Forgot it's all for fun, did you, mate?
Maybe I just was no.
Oh, the size of Texas, is it really? Okay, give it a laugh.
That's how they measure everything in America, by the way.
Yeah,
Particularly
Texas or North Carolina.
depending on the audience they're trying to appeal to as
Relative
well.
to the size of Texas, yeah.
Let's measure it.
Everyone
the
knows
size
what.
of,
Everyone knows how big Texas is. I guess.
Really fucking big.
Who's going to watch this? America. America. Let's go with the size of Texas.
Yeah.
It's probably the number one watch film in Texas. Armageddon.
Yeah, it would be
up
actually.
there.
It's very rah-rah.
And yeah, so the second act is my personal favorite.
Okay, on the rig.
The rigs, the guys meeting the astronauts,
The roughnecks.
The roughnecks.
Yeah.
And it's just like all manly man stuff with a little love story mixed in there.
Yeah.
And then the third scene is the space on the asteroid, which I find it gets really funny.
Yeah.
But that just might be me. Michael Bay
It's
thinks
insane is what it is.
Michael Bay thinks he wish he could redo the movie to do the third act differently.
Really?
Because he didn't like it. He didn't like the third act.
The whole bit on the
It
asteroid.
was so rushed. They had 18 weeks.
Fuck,
to film 140
I thought it was really good. Like it probably went on a little long
Yes.
For us.
the asteroid scene, but I thought it was that whole act. I thought it was fucking exciting. I was
Yeah.
enthralled the whole time. There was so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to pause it and go for a vape when Owen Wilson dies.
Oh yeah, it's tough. That's tough to take in.
Yeah.
That's what we need as a website where we do the exact time with Owen Wilson. Someone's already fucking done it. It could be him or his brother. I found if I was gonna, I agree that probably the final act on the asteroid was the best bit.
Yeah.
If I was going to cut anything down, it would be the
middle.
yeah.
Oh, what?
So
like the preparing themselves for the adventure.
I didn't mind the getting the team together bit. That was pretty cool.
Good
you know,
montage.
and the
Riding the hog across the highway.
the best bit was the Owen Wilson.
Come get me, Papa Bear!
With his jacket with the tassels on it. What a tough guy.
Yeah.
That was okay. I found it got really cheesy when they started doing the preparation bit. I was kind of like, they started to become more. I didn't want them all to be clowns and caricatures.
Yeah.
I didn't mind a couple of them being the comic relief, but I felt like all of them were kind of just being goofy and silly.
They definitely were.
Yeah. And I was just like, it would for me it would have been better if there was a bit more emotional depth to a few of them, and a couple of them to be funnier. Whereas without stepping too far on the cast and thoughts later on, I wanted more Will Patton.
Yep.
And that kind of a character.
Chick.
And you could have just had Buscemi cooking.
Yep.
And a bit
Which
more.
he did.
Yeah. And a bit
He
more of
cooked
the
non-stop.
seriousness and depth that Will Patton brought.
Okay, you wanted a different movie.
Yeah. I wanted
You did.
deep impact. Yeah.
Because that's not what it was.
No.
It was like entertain the masses.
Yeah.
These are blue collar workers just like you, and this is how they handle the situation.
Yeah.
And then,
But as you said, they were kind of caricatures.
It was
all of them.
all just a bit
I found
too
that
much.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I knew what I was getting into.
like that psychiatrist bit where he's like cutting between everyone's different like reactions to the psychiatrist.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
In that weird spiky room.
And Will
It was a
Patton
weird
saying,
room.
just with the thing going off, it goes, "How would I handle it?" It just slaps off the table. He's getting freaked out about the room.
Yeah, what is with the spiky room? And then there was the hanger that had all the same foam spikes.
Yeah.
Is that just to look futuristic? Or
Who was a weird chick from bloody Austin Powers in the window?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, and Steve Buscemi goes, "Who's she?" Yeah, I love the second act. I really love it.
I've always enjoyed Michael Bay's comedy. I actually
Really?
think he's a really good comedic director. Like
It's our
the first Transformers film. I thought it's really funny, mainly
Actually,
because Shia LaBeouf is just like on fire.
And
in that
Anthony
movie.
Anderson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. He nails comedy as well. Was
Bad
it,
Boys,
He did
maybe.
Bad
Of
Boys.
course,
The
yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The Rock.
Yeah.
It's got like some really funny moments in it
Yeah.
throughout the film.
Yeah.
I think he.
Why don't you go home and fuck the prom queen?
I don't know whether I want him to do a comedy, like
no,
stay
no,
in your lane, but I think his shit's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
just-
he really knows. I think he knows what's funny. This one went like really overboard.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of the whole thing was almost a comedy. But overboard's probably the wrong word because I fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Overboard's right for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I just felt it was laid on a little too thick in parts for me. And then,
The like attempting to be funny.
yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Because tonally, like it went from the goofiness
Yeah.
and then particularly with the love story.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh, now we need the emotional weight.
Yeah.
And like it just felt a bit uneven for me.
Yeah,
So-
I think I think the heart of the movie is Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
He keeps it grounded.
He's the heart and soul. He's not a caricature. He does have emotional.
No, yeah.
You find out his backstory, why he can't go into space. Why he
Agree.
does that.
Oh, his character and he was unreal.
And he literally holds the whole movie in.
Agree.
So it's not slapstick. What's the other word for it? So,
No, so
he's not making it ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even though it is, but he's like kind of grounding the movie.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because it'd be silliness. Billy Bob Thornton scene.
Yeah.
Cool. Love story, silliness.
So,
Billy Bob.
Two things there to dissect, whichever one you want to do first. The love story, you guys obviously have a problem with, judging by your reaction to it so far.
Yeah, I felt that it was too much. I felt like it was tacked on.
Okay.
And it makes sense.
It was
exactly
tacked
what
on.
Duff's saying.
The original script didn't have a love story in it.
Yeah.
Right.
But the success of Titanic made them go, hang on, how do we get female teenagers in? Let's put a love story with Ben Affleck.
Let's get Bruce Willis to watch his daughter making out.
That was so fucking weird.
That was weird.
That was
that
great.
scene was weird. he looked a little too long.
I was just like
you see your grown adult daughter making out with someone, you turn away quickly.
Yeah. Just get the nape of her neck caressed by Ben Affleck's lips.
He
was
just
like,
stared at it.
He was freaked out like so much
weird.
his wig was moving.
Is that a wig?
Wig was like a fucking cobra.
because his wig was trying to leave.
So here's why I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Because the main, the biggest emotional part of the film, where everyone felt something, even you did, BJ, don't try and fucking deny it,
That was fun.
was when Bruce Willis pulls the air thing off
Yes.
Ben Affleck, forces him back into the tube or the airlock,
Yep.
locks it up, and then they have that brief, what does he say? He says,
You're like a son to me.
Yeah, you're like a son. I'm
Proud of you.
damn proud for you to marry Grace.
Yeah.
And that's the big
When he's
moment
going up
of-
on the tube, I love you, Dad. Well, not yet, motherfucker.
that moment doesn't happen if there's not the love story.
It's my turn now.
Harry! You can't do this to me! It's my girl!
You go take care of my little girl now. That's your job. Always thought of you as a son. Always.
I'd be damn proud to have you marry Grace.
Harry!
You take care of yourself.
I love you. Harry, I love you! Don't, Harry, wait a minute! I love you so! Don't do this, Harry! Don't do this, Harry!
You'd have to work way too hard to build a weird father-son. He doesn't think he accepts him and all that sort of stuff.
You could change that right around and make it his dad died on his Bruce Willis's oil rig when he was young with a 2-year-old at home.
Yeah.
He kind of takes the 2-year-old, he becomes his
Father figure.
and
Wait,
then
so
you
you're
can
saying
have
he
that,
fosters Ben Affleck?
yeah, then you can have that same emotion. You don't need Liv Tyler at home.
Way easier to do a love story.
Yeah.
And you can put Liv Tyler in it, otherwise there's virtually not a female in it,
Whoa,
other than the one astronaut.
Liv Tyler wasn't in this. That was just a plank of wood.
Yeah. I got Liv Tyler thoughts as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it something like this?
Oh, Liv Tyler, I just wish you could. That's my daddy up there.
That actually had.
She talks.
Yeah, it was.
She's always
You had
breathing.
too much range.
Sorry.
She was much more monotone.
That's my daddy up there.
I like Liv Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Do I? I think I do.
I don't know because I don't remember seeing her in anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen her and she's
She's in a heap of
she's
shit.
forgettable as fuck.
Yeah.
I just found that
Okay.
it was definitely again, and I know it was just laid on a bit too thick. Like it just needed to be pulled back a little bit. Like we got the point. It was some of it was just straight up weird. I don't know why. Like they did a lot of establishing the fact, like trying to establish the tension between Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck. Like that seemed to go on for quite a while to me. I don't know. I
He's
didn't really
the
know
cowboy. Ben Affleck. Bruce Willis sees himself in Ben Affleck, but also he's dating his daughter, and he knows it's probably a good. I liked it.
But
I liked that whole part of the film.
But you have won me over a little.
Other than
into
very boring and
fucking
bland.
breathy monotone
Yeah.
bullshit. But it's a fair point you make about the fact that the part that I did feel emotionally invested in, and
You were moved.
Did you cry? Did you cry?
No, I did not cry.
Oh,
yeah,
I've got a
no,
list of moments I cried, which we'll get to.
Really?
Yeah. There's 5 parts.
5 parts.
It gets me, man.
You need to talk to someone.
I got a 5-parter as well.
Yeah. So that was by far the best scene in terms of for starters, it actually gave Bruce Willis the ability to have some range.
Yeah,
because until then he'd been flat as fuck.
He hadn't
as
been
well.
given a lot. Yeah.
He was just like doing.
Well, he was the straight guy.
Yeah,
he was the normal
most
character in
Bruce
amongst
Willis.
the caricatures. Yeah.
But see, I still think like the one to compare to is the way that they did Will Patton's character.
Yeah,
like they did just enough. Like he wasn't a clown.
Yeah,
and they gave him enough backstory and enough emotional depth. Like that. That it was actually cool as well when his kid.
One of the moments I cried.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2 bits involving that kid that I cried.
Yeah.
The salesman's on TV.
Yeah, that bit.
It's not a salesman.
Yeah, okay.
That's your father.
That's your father.
I gulped, but I didn't cry.
Okay. What about at the end when the little boy runs to him on the tarmac?
Yeah.
You cried, didn't you?
No. No.
What?
No.
Jeez, you must have been moved.
Oh, it was one of the more moving parts of the film.
Moved to the brink of tears.
Yeah,
and then sucked him back.
I don't waste my tears, Ken. Maybe I won't cry it out. You cry yourself to sleep every night. Eventually, you just run out of tears.
Up.
Yeah,
just dries up.
But no, but that's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is those bits carried a bit more weight. I don't think I would have liked a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more 50-50.
Take that. I take that on board.
And because I thought like Steve Buscemi's a fucking champion, right?
Yeah.
Right. He was cooking through that most of the movie, and I enjoyed him.
He's given a lot to work with, and
it was almost like clear the lane. You guys play a bit more straight down the sides and let Steve Buscemi cook, and I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, just had one comic relief character, basically.
Yeah, one or two. Even one comic relief guy, one guy with a good sense of humour is fine.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm happy with all of them.
Yeah,
yeah.
Even Will Patton cracks a couple of jokes.
He does, yeah, but that's the thing is he can
but
do
it's
that.
A straight, like on the asteroid. Hey, the 9-foot nuclear weapon started ticking.
Yeah.
Well, who brings a gun into space?
No, not to jerk off Michael Bay anymore, but no one does it like him. As in, I know you didn't particularly like it, BJ, but I can't think of another filmmaker that's able to have that wild range of, not characters, but like, it's this laugh out loud comedy, and then 8 seconds later, it's like this overly sentimental, like heartfelt. I'm fucking brought to tears.
Yeah.
A moment ago, I was laughing at the slapstick comedy. Like, no one else can do that. Not for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously not everyone sees it that way, as you clearly don't. Like, you didn't want all that.
No.
You'd much rather it just be a bit straighter and a bit,
It just felt that made it feel uneven to me.
Okay.
That's what made the tone.
I could see how you could.
Yeah. It's kind of like, if
you didn't like that, then I could,
Not to weaponize your own words against
it doesn't
you.
change.
But it was similar. I actually thought back to your feelings about the Meg and how you were saying, like, pick a lane.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of felt at times I was like, pick a lane, even just maybe if we...
Like, pick a tonal lane.
Yeah, pick a tonal lane, or even if we just picked a lane for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
It felt like what they had was a series of explosions, and they're like, now we need a plot somehow to thread these together.
Yeah.
And now we need a few jokes thrown in, and now we need, as Duff said, like a romantic subplot thrown in. It was like...
Yeah, okay.
It didn't feel organic in its construction to me.
Yep.
I feel like when there was a lot of talking, so about half an hour talking, Michael Bay's like, oh, we might be losing viewers here. Destroy Beijing.
Yeah.
Presses the destroy Beijing
and then all of a sudden
button.
there's a huge... When's it going to hit? 5 minutes.
Can we talk about the around the world shots?
Yeah.
Live for that.
Yeah.
I live for that.
Okay.
The pure stereotype, like, the Muslims at the mosque.
Yeah,
It's so good, man. Yeah. Like, so bad.
Yeah.
So bad, it's good.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I've got a couple of subsections here, right? What I've decided to do is not shit on the science of the movie.
Please
and
don't.
You
cannot.
And pick too many holes in the plot.
I'll just walk out.
It's not what I'm
We're
here
not
to
doing
do.
that.
I knew you guys would be sensitive to that, so I'm not.
Not sensitive to it. I just can't be fucked. Because it'd be a 4 hour long.
I think
you know what I mean?
Me and Ken both know the science isn't accurate, even though it is based on a true story.
Some
it's
of it
not
is.
accurate.
But not just the science, right? Not just the science, but actually, like, I understand that this is, as a plot, it doesn't have to hold up to intense scrutiny, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to scrutinise that too much.
Yeah, it's pure entertainment.
I have some questions about the plot.
I'll answer them. Go.
And then I also have another section called existential questions raised by the plot.
What's existential?
Like just questions about the were raised in terms of the whole. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, how do you? What's the definition of existential?
Depends on have an interactive for 4-year-old.
Questioning the meaning
Nothing
of life.
means anything.
Okay.
What's the point of anything?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
So, if you don't mind, do you mind if I
Go for it,
throw
man.
some of these at you guys?
Go.
My notes are finished.
So like I get the, I don't. So forgetting the implausibility of it all, right? Because it's not particularly plausible. I think we can live with that, right? And even forgetting the whole, we're going to send a band of misfit roughnecks up into space to save humanity.
They've all got very good backgrounds, though, and
great drillers. Great drillers.
Yeah,
great.
Good
the best
drillers.
at what they do.
Yeah,
deep core. The hardest drilling.
They searched all of America for the best oil drillers.
Yep.
There's we'll search the world and they just happen to be Americans. There's no other country in the world that has any experience with oil.
Not as good as the Americans.
Yeah. No.
Fuck yeah.
So, I did have what was with the weird spiky rooms. Is that like a fucking NASA thing? What's going on there?
I think it's supposed to make them feel uncomfortable.
It made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to do that.
I want one.
Yeah. A meditation room?
Yeah.
I would do some things in that room.
I would just have one at work and I'd just call in the subordinates and I'd be like, so, your timesheet. The other question that I had answered, was how much Aerosmith is too much Aerosmith. 2 songs in a row is the answer to that.
Yeah. When was there 2 songs in a row?
Fucking
That
played.
was Sweet whatever. That one?
They played the ballad, the big ballad,
yeah.
which is a crime against humanity in itself.
How dare you? But go on.
Nah, man, he says...
I fucking love
He
that.
says, I don't want to miss a thing and I'm going to miss. You're like, you can't use miss twice in 2 sentences. It's a crime against lyrics. It's just a thing.
Okay.
It's in the Geneva Convention.
I'm going to stand up and disagree. I thought it was the perfect end credits. Because I don't want to close my eyes during this movie because I don't want to miss
When they played it earlier in the movie and then they went straight into another Aerosmith song and his daughter's in it and I was like, it's too much Aerosmith for me.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Right? Is everyone at NASA really like a chubby middle-aged white man? Was my other plot question?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
they sit on a desk. They're very busy. They don't have time to exercise.
I couldn't tell one from the other.
I'd say definitely in 98 they were.
Yeah, they're getting a lot
It's
of...
probably diversified a little bit now, but I'd say
they all
98
came from
are
Duke
probably-
University. So you're probably right.
Where's Frankie from MIT with the donuts?
Yeah.
That's what they're about.
If Billy Bob didn't have like a bit of a half a beard going on, I wouldn't have known who was who the whole time. Every time they cut to the control room, I was like, it's just another slightly jowly fucking white, freaked out white man.
all just made out of Play-Doh.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to leave that console, sir. Oh, whatever. It's actually the other guy who looks exactly like
you
me.
are.
Yeah. Why was there a fucking massive Gatling gun on the front of the drill rig?
To get rid of spaceships in their way so they can leave.
They're expecting aliens, right?
Could be. Yeah, it could be alien contact.
I think it was dispersing obstacles.
It didn't adjust.
Yeah. And thank God they put that Gatling gun on there.
Yeah, because he
God.
blasted his way out of it. He's like, oh, hang on, how are we ever going to get out? Wait, there's a fucking massive machine gun.
How
on the front.
convenient.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I have no problem with that.
No, I'm not saying I have a problem with it. These are just things that I question.
right, sorry.
Yeah,
I think the movie would have been better if Jesse Ventura was on the top of that fucking mini. I ain't got time to bleed in space.
The irony there was that they don't bat an eyelid at these massive machine guns, and then Will Patton's the guy brings out a pistol, and Will Patton's like, "Who brings a gun into space?" I'm like, "There's a fucking Gatling gun on the front of your drill rig, Will. Like, did you not see the schematics? Like, you guys built.
No
that.
one owned it though. The Gatling gun.
Yeah.
It was just an entity.
Yeah, if
Whereas
someone owned it, then
someone
maybe Steve
held the
Buscemi
pistol.
might not have fucking killed Max.
Yeah, true.
Fuck.
And Steve Buscemi killed Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's and then he gets back, they land, and he's like, let's not mention the whole fucking space
Let's not
dimension.
mention the thing where I killed my best friend and just sat there and looked at him and go, bye, Max.
Distracted him. Bye, Max.
Have a good one, pal.
That was funny.
He's got space dementia.
Yeah.
Space dementia.
Space dementia.
I went to look it up, then I went, fuck that, I'm not looking it up.
I reckon it's
For me,
real.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real. I think it's real.
just cabin fever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Space
because the Russian guy was there for 18 months, right?
I've got a lot of thoughts on Peter.
Yeah, he's great.
I love everything he did.
Love him.
Everything.
He's great in everything.
Yeah. Russian, American, all made in Taiwan.
Components, American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan.
He was okay. I prefer his work in Rammstein. So he looks exactly like the singer of Rammstein.
Does he?
A little bit.
The singer from Rammstein was like a big, heavy set gentleman.
He looks like him.
Heavy set gentleman. Yeah, he works at NASA.
Heavy set gentleman. The scenes around the world scenes, right? Are you saying that like the international stereotypes were one thing?
Yeah.
Why was everyone in the US set in the fucking 40s?
Oh, yeah.
The old cars
That's
in the
right.
old towns.
They're gathering around at the front of the hay shed and watching an old TV. Like, why aren't you in a lounge room? All the kids running around are dressed like Huck Finn. They're all like wearing like
white
overalls with no shirt underneath.
Like white chesty bonds with the sleeves rolled up.
There was a red Chevy that literally looked like it's from the 50s.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, that's the only car in town.
You know what I think it was? That's kind of Americana.
It's full on Americana.
Americana,
isn't it? That was meant to really make you feel something. But they were really it in terms of my plot questions.
That's not too bad. I'll take that.
No, I didn't go too hard.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, there was some good stuff there.
I just didn't know. I was just like, are these kids Amish? But then they were watching a fucking TV at the front of the hay shed. I was like, why is the TV at the front of the hay shed? Like, why aren't we inside? Like, what's going on?
I love them flashing around the world. Shit. I can't get enough
Everyone's
of it.
sitting out the front of the Taj Mahal.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
I fucking love it.
How do they know it's India?
They do it like 3 times. Yeah. I want to show them it's a global event, but we have 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Also, I was like, hang on.
Stereotypes.
They're watching. I know I said I wasn't going to piss on the science too much. I was like, they're watching it from that side of the planet and that side of the planet.
Because it's the size of Texas.
Everyone just looks
daylight all the time. There's no nighttime medial.
I don't know. We said we weren't going to do the science.
Okay.
We said we weren't going to do that. Yeah. Because we would be here all night. The thing I said before, there was 2 things I wanted to dissect. One of them being the love story, which I quite enjoyed. You guys, whatever. Yep. Impartial. The second one was you touched on Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
I think
No.
Very fucking close to it now. Yeah, he's been a few mentions now.
I've got thoughts on something later. I'll bring up.
You could easily argue that this is actually a Billy Bob movie. Like, he's that good in it. He's not the hero, which means it's not going to be his movie, right? It's obviously Bruce Willis' movie. Yeah. But you could make a pretty strong argument. I didn't write an essay this week about the fact that it's Billy Bob's movie. But what I did do is I actually reckon that Billy Bob is very unfortunate that he put on this performance in a film like this. These sorts of movies never get the praise or the, like when award season comes around, like the Oscars, all that shit.
I'll talk about the special effects.
Maybe, probably not even for a movie like this is probably even just too far.
I'm just talking about regular fellas on the
street. Regular fellas on the street.
Around the water cooler.
I'll still talk about
Billy
it.
Bob was good. Yeah, so was the special.
But like the Academy's never going to go, oh, the guy from Armageddon that played like that. You know, he's never going to get a mention. He was that fucking good in this that I reckon he deserves a mention for an Academy Award. So what I did, what I did is I looked up 1998 Best Supporting Actor, and I thought, I wonder who was actually nominated this year and who would be, like, who he could take the place of in those nominations.
Hit it with me, Ken. Hit it me.
You ready?
Yep.
I'm not going to tell you who won. You guys can decide. Robin Williams for Good Will Hunting. Robert Forster for Jackie Brown, which I don't even really recall that role.
I do.
Anthony Hopkins for Amistad.
Yep.
Greg Kinnear for As Good As It Gets.
I hate that movie.
And Burt Reynolds for Boogie Nights.
Okay. I'm gonna hit you straight.
Go.
Robin Williams won that.
He did.
Yeah.
Robin Williams deserved to win
He
that.
definitely did.
Yeah.
Billy Bob doesn't get nominated.
He gets in for, I reckon he gets in for, I haven't seen Amistad to be
Amistad hasn't aged well.
Yeah, I reckon he fits in where Greg Kinnear for As Good As It Gets.
Yeah, I hated it.
That movie was too popular. You had to have. If Helen
Was
Hunt,
Robert Forster amazing in Jackie Brown?
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Was he?
Resurgence.
It's a really good movie that's underrated.
Yeah.
I like Jackie Brown.
Yeah,
I just don't. Yeah, I just haven't seen it.
Yeah,
It's right up my wheelhouse.
I was not coming in here tonight expecting your hot take to be that Billy Bob was ripped off at the Oscars for
Yeah,
his performance.
I think he was. Well, he's a.
I'm reeling.
He's
Maybe the
a-
MTV Movie Awards. The Academy is not going to fucking give him an.
No. His performance in this is like the poster child for people that go so hard in movies where they shouldn't have or probably didn't need to, where they just put on the performance of a fucking lifetime in like a popcorn movie. And they never get credit for it.
Yeah.
This is that. This is the poster child for that. Because he's so fucking good in this.
He's good. And the other thing is, he got the script to work with, which a lot of the other guys didn't get. So
Fair.
my complaint about a lot of the performances as we go through the cast, honestly, was it their fault or was it the script's fault in terms of like Liv Tyler? I think it's fair to say she was given the ability to do more than she did.
Yep.
Ben Affleck, on the other hand, I think could have done this in his sleep.
Yeah.
I think he almost phoned it in.
He had a bit. He did have some range to work with,
but
I don't think the range was good though.
I think it was a really good cast. Like I was just like, bam, look at that guy, bam, look at that guy, bam, look at that guy. Like,
every single co-star is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Blows my mind.
Actually, I think I think it's maybe a bit strong that he probably should have been nominated.
You know how I get.
But I respect your passion. But he was definitely the best performance.
Easily.
By a long shot.
Easily. Yeah.
He actually, when he told Michael Bay he had a backstory of why he works where he works. So he does the whole backstory of his character without Michael Bay knowing. He tells Michael Bay his backstory. And Michael Bay goes, I like that. I'm going to set up a scene. So that's the scene where he's wearing the brace on his knee. And you go, and then he says to Bruce Willis, I'd be up there if I could.
Right.
Okay. And then the big plot line of the mission control, and I've always wanted to have that little patch.
Yeah, the patch. Yeah.
So that was actually Billy Bob's idea.
Oh, he's that guy. So the first time I ever did any acting in my illustrious acting career,
you needed a backstory. And
had like 3 lines in just a student film, and this chick that was in the scene with me who also had 2 lines. She's like, before they roll, she's like to the director, so, like, this is what I've got for the backstory. And she's like, I'm divorced. I've moved to this small town. I'm having tension with my husband. I'm like, just say your fucking 2 lines. I was like, is this what this is going to be like?
Shut the fuck up, Reese Witherspoon. I hope she's not listening because I loved her in that performance.
I was just like, I almost walked out then. I almost retired on the spot. I was like, I haven't got no backstory.
What's your backstory? I auditioned for a movie. I didn't get it. And now I'm here.
Like, what's your motivation? I was like, I just want to give this a crack. What's your... So yeah, no, I'm not surprised to hear that he brought that.
Yeah,
in,
that's
That's Billy Bob, right? He's a bit of an eccentric genius.
Well, it just goes to show he really went all in on this.
Yeah.
He didn't look at it like, it's a big popcorn blockbuster Michael Bay film. I'll just fucking do my bit and get out of there.
Michael Bay,
no.
And
I'm going to give this everything I've got.
It
definitely was. Take him out of it and replace him with John Cusack, and all of a sudden it's like, actually, that's not fair.
Whoa,
that's not fair. He was great in Con Air.
Yeah, don't get me fucking hot under the collar with John Travolta.
Bad example, I retract.
Yep.
But you get my point.
Take him out, replace him with John Travolta.
Please don't.
Everyone I'm thinking of is incredible. William H. Macy. Incredible.
Oh, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Ed Harris could have done it. He would have been great.
So I've got a little fun fact on, speaking of Ed Harris and The Rock. The president in Armageddon is the same president in The Rock.
Oh, really?
So does this happen? Is this in the same world as The Rock? Because that got me really excited.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, also the fact that Michael Bay does shout-outs to movies in all of his fucking movies.
Yeah.
There was the Terminator 2 head on the gear change.
Yes. Yeah.
There was there was a lot of the wrong stuff instead of the right stuff, which is a lot of the right stuff on that. There was quite. He does this in every movie.
Actually,
he loves
a couple, but
he actually pays. This is the best thing about Michael Bay. He pays homage to his own films in his films. It's fucking great.
I love
if you got to watch the new one, Ambulance, the new Michael Bay film.
Good.
He pays homage to like Bad Boys,
everything,
Transport, like his own shit.
Yeah.
It's like, can you pay homage to your own work? You can if you're Michael fucking Bay.
My hot take is going to be that Michael Bay's got a mirror on his ceiling above his bed.
That's a fact.
Yeah. And go for it.
Yeah.
Before we dig into the cast, which is presumably next, is it?
Yeah, sure.
Can we do my existential questions real quick?
Yes, and then I want to do my moments I cried.
Okay.
Because we got the mini episode. We can always go into the cast. I got a few little bits and pieces, but I didn't go.
We're good.
I didn't dive into figures too much because.
I don't think these will take too long. These are more just, this is just like pretend you're in a spiky room and I'm the psychiatrist and I'm just hitting you with a couple of...
And you want us to answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so first and most obvious is got to be clearly, if the President of the United States announces obliteration of the world in a few hours, what do you do?
I did think about this often.
Of course you did. It's whatever.
You can't not.
What do you
do? If I had to be honest, I'd probably sit my family down.
Yep.
Sit them on a nice, comfortable couch. And I watch Predator with them.
It's not even a lie.
It's not. They're fair.
Joey's like, finally, Dad, thank you.
Yeah.
I went, there. and if the asteroid takes a little bit longer, I'll put on Blade. And then even if it gets a little bit longer than that, little bit, and I think it's perfect.
At this point, your family's looking out the window, just waiting for it to come.
And I want,
take me.
And then, as the asteroid's coming down, I just put on the start of the grey, and I say it word for word, and then dust, baby.
I like that.
Dust.
Once more into the fray.
Once more into the fray. I'm just dust.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm family and film.
Yeah. It's an impossible question to answer, isn't it?
Well, that's why I carry a list in my
I think
wallet.
you spend the last couple of hours doing something that you enjoy with the people you love, right?
Yeah, or something
me
you
and you
enjoy with a
watching
total
Gone in 60
stranger, total stranger that you've paid enough to do it. Yeah, like I from now on will be carrying a little list in my phone.
Yeah,
of just things like just things that I want to smash out in the last couple of hours, like learn macrame. Just all the things that I wanted to do, like ride a unicycle,
like a bucket list, but a bucket list to feel really short on time.
Like
an 8 hour
down the
bucket
street,
list.
knock on someone's door, yell at them, and punch them in the face. Just fucking start a fight. Yeah, just shit like that.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. All right. Cool. Which member of the team are you? Me. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I'm Owen Wilson.
Might be.
Because I think I'm not as funny.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, I'm not as funny or as smart as I think I am, right? And I just say lots of inappropriate shit when I get nervous.
Yeah, that's very accurate.
So I think I'm probably Owen Wilson.
Fuck, I wish I had time to think about this.
I know, I deliberately set you guys up here.
Fuck, I might
Straight off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm Papa Bear.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Clark Duncan, baby.
It's because you dance on the table in your underwear.
Yeah.
Going, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
I'm Affleck, aren't I?
I think you're more of a Liv Tyler guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love you, Dad.
I'll give you that, yeah.
That's my dad up there.
I think I am Liv Tyler.
I think we've all probably nailed it. If you're listening at home, let us know which one you reckon. Okay, and most importantly, you're Michael Bay, director of the film. The script calls for a country or city to be wiped out. Which country or city do you choose? I reckon he went with Paris because it's very obvious visually.
Yep.
But it's also safe because, like, Americans are like, oh, well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Paris. It avoids controversy of some of the other places.
Yeah. It was a safe bet.
Yeah.
To go
It's
Paris,
just like, fucking.
They probably put a lot of fucking thought into that.
I actually think they do.
Yeah,
Like, this
they
is
would
actually
have.
quite a they're like, they're quite serious. Like, but if we did a Middle Eastern country, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm wiping out either Washington, like Independence Day style.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably do something closer to home for me personally, like Sydney, not Perth.
Yeah.
But Sydney or something like that.
Yeah.
Sydney or Melbourne. Because you've got the Opera House, very
Sydney
iconic.
they could have got away with.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't really offend anyone.
No.
And we're allies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone in Melbourne would cheer.
Actually, do they show the Sydney Harbour Bridge at some
No,
point?
they mentioned Australia being wiped out.
No, I watched fucking Greenland again.
I did.
They show the Sydney Harbour Bridge at the end of that. Yeah.
Gotta watch it.
Fuck, I watched it.
I did enjoy, as Duff kind of alluded to before, the complete obliteration of the nondescript Asian place.
Yeah.
And they're like, asteroid's going to wipe them out. And he goes, I've got the quotes here. One guy goes, we have to tell them. And was it Billy Bob that goes, what, warn the entire South Pacific?
Yeah.
He didn't even, well, yeah. Just
send out a
fucking SOS, whatever. Like, just let them know. Like,
radio someone.
Yeah, like,
Radio.
Yeah. Hello, anyone there? Anyone? You're gonna?
Yeah, asteroids coming. When? Pretty soon. Warn everyone.
Yeah, you haven't got time to watch Predator. I'm so sorry.
Just the start of the grey. And then you will fade into dust and everything will be perfect in the
Good.
world.
I liked that question.
Yeah.
Good existential question. Yeah.
All right, that's my question.
I think the answer for me would probably be Sydney or maybe London.
Yeah.
If I was going to be safe.
I was really surprised it wasn't Canada.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they could have done? They could have done the pyramids. Could have wiped out the pyramids. That's not really upsetting anyone, but it's like very impactful because you're wiping out human history.
Yeah, alien history too.
Alien history, yeah, sorry. Human history over here. Like some guy that hasn't read a book.
Nah, they built it with slave drivers and mammoths, Kevin. That's aliens, bro.
It's fucking aliens, man. We'll get to that. Yeah, Colin, you got any more?
No, that's it for me.
Okay.
Oh, I could do that for hours.
All
I
right.
love that.
Before you do the cast, here's the moments I cried, or genuinely, and I do every time.
I'll
Saying
back
this
you
a
up
lot.
on this.
All I want to hear is a yes or no that you cried.
No.
Harry. A cry is sometimes just when I say a cry, like there wasn't tears like pouring down my face.
Wet eyes,
it
baby.
means I welled up.
Okay.
Like
So
your
there's-
wife walks in, you put a pillow over your face.
Yeah, there was moisture in my eyes, and possibly like goosebumps, and like a lump in my throat. So here we go. I already mentioned this, but Harry throwing Affleck back into the airlock.
Yep.
It get you?
It got me. It
got me in the feels.
Yeah.
Cried?
I knew it was
cry.
coming.
Welled up?
No, it didn't well up.
Even when he says, I'd be damn proud for you to marry Grace.
I love you, Dad. Just ended it for me.
Oh, gets me.
Yeah.
This one's an interesting one, and I don't know why I just get
When
overwhelmed
Michael
with
Clark
emotion.
Duncan took his shirt
No.
off.
There is that. When the second armadillo rolls over the hill and they see it, and there's like hope again, and it's also like Ben Affleck sees Harry.
Despair.
What's Ben Affleck's character's name? I keep forgetting.
AJ.
When
I
AJ
should
sees,
remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
When AJ sees Harry and there's like hope and there's they're going to do it again, because there was just this big like, you were sucked of all hope and everything. It was the movie was done. This isn't going to work. And then you saw the armadillo and you're like,
Armadillo.
that's what they called him, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, armadillo.
they called him armadillo. We touched on this,
first
but
in the phone book. Oh no, it's Aardvark. Carry on.
Our dark electricians.
when Chick's son and baby mama are watching the news and she sees that Chick is one of the hero astronauts and she says, that's not a salesman. That's your daddy.
Yes.
Oh.
It was a good emotional
Well done.
moment. Also, like
Beautifully set up for that to mean
pretty
anything.
disappointed in her as a mother, but that we won't go down that path.
Let's not.
Yeah.
And the second part of that was when they land and they're slow-mo walking. I'm already welling up when they're slow-mo walking. It's like, fuck, this is really emotional.
I get it.
And then Chick, the Liv Tyler runnings of Ben Affleck didn't get me.
No, I mean,
And it should have, but it didn't. No. What got me was Chick's son, huge grin on his face, like charging towards his dad. And they're essentially meeting for the first time.
Holding his son for the first time.
Yeah. Probably since he was a baby. We didn't really know the full story there.
He's a gambler, and he lost all the money.
So the restraining order was not in effect at that point. She's overridden it.
I think she's overridden it.
Okay, she's the law then, I guess.
Yeah.
He's made some mistakes, okay? He's a fucking roughneck.
No, I'm on his
all
side.
right?
I'm on his side.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah.
Now, the final one was when Colonel Willie Sheriff, who was William Fichtner,
Fichtner,
walks up to Grace and he says,
Miss Stamper. Colonel Willie Sharp, United States Air Force, man. Requesting permission to shake the hand of the daughter of the bravest man I've ever met.
100% no.
Oh, that got me, man.
Yes. But you're not mentioning the main bit where she puts her hand up against with Bruce Willis on the screen.
Yes, that bit got me.
Proper tears, baby.
Really?
Proper tears.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You didn't feel anything?
Oh, no, I felt something. I just didn't well up like I did the
I
other time.
welled the fuck up. That's sad as shit, man.
Yeah.
He's saying goodbye to his daughter. I want to walk you
You
down
know
the
what?
aisle. Can't do that.
I might have actually missed that moment because I take notes on my phone while I'm watching the movie for the podcast. So I might have just looked down, quickly take a note. I cried again, and then looked back up, and I missed the fucking other bit that made me cry.
Literally the end bit.
Yeah, I'm with Duff. That was
For
that
you.
Was a moment.
I remember the moment. I've seen the movie before.
Yeah.
I just didn't take the note.
No, you missed the big one.
Apologies.
I
also-
Apologies to all my criers out there. I missed that last
I
one.
also teared up a bit when Bruce Willis finally hits the nuke. Because that was, it's taken some time for him to hit that fucking button.
Jeez, it took a bit.
And William Fichtner going, I'll go around. And William Patton's such a good loyal friend. He goes, he'll do it. Give him time.
Yeah, which is not a great.
One more minute.
Yeah.
One more minute.
Also, that's not great strategy.
No, because if he doesn't,
you're all fucked.
You're
right?
fucked either way.
Yeah.
You're not going to get back in time. You've got a minute to hit that 0 point. What are you going to go back and 80 minutes later put it in?
The only other thing was everything,
It's
and
Bruce or
this
nothing.
may be classic Michael Bay, everything got to 1 second. Like the nuke was going to blow up, got down to 1 second or whatever it was.
That
like
bit where they're going, please be good at your job. Please be good at your job.
Yeah. Nothing like, he didn't like, with 8 seconds left, he didn't make it. You know, everything had to go to like cliche enough to go.
Yeah, that's just
absolute final
suspense.
I just want to see in a movie where someone's disarming a bomb. There's no red or blue wire. It's black and yellow. Like, change up the colours.
Yeah, like
It's always
it's like German
lethal
wiring.
weapon.
We'll make them all the same
Blue
colour.
and red. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a fucking fail-safe.
That's a really good Evil Genius move right there.
Jesus fucking hell.
Wow.
Disarming this one.
Speaking of disarming the bomb, I felt that one missed the mark. You know, when he was like, that was meant to be a big emotional relief moment when they finally disarmed the nuke. That was another homage, was him riding the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Strangelove. I thought that felt like a really big build-up, and then it was like, well, okay. I knew that was going
I got to the stage in the final act.
Yeah, I
where
agree with you there.
Steve Buscemi was starting to piss me off.
Yeah, same.
He was legitimately making me fucking angry.
Yeah.
We get it. You're happy to die because you've got all this dead at home and you're so smart, you think it's impossible for them to survive. So he kind of shut me off.
I think
Ran on a little bit.
the space dementia probably didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I also liked the wrinkle in his character that he turned out to be a genius. I thought that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Again, I like the Steve Buscemi character towards the end because it would have been. I suppose they can't have got him to do the job though, right? It would have been better if it needed 2 people, and one of them was Steve Buscemi.
Let him get his wish.
I would have.
He turns out to be the hero of the movie that sacrifices.
I would love Steve Buscemi to have died in that bit. Just a little payback for Max that went into space.
Oh, he was a fucking ass on that gun. He just what was with that?
What is going? Space dimensions real.
Yeah, I'm with you with it. That whole thing doesn't need it.
Yeah, a bit forced.
The whole space dimension thing.
Yeah, just get him doing when he was. Actually,
there was enough drama.
I'm a teapot and a fucking machine gun.
Yeah. When he first got there and was explaining where they've landed and how bad it is, stay in that. Stay in that with your little because his comedy up to that point wasn't slapstick. It just kind of changed to
smug
slapstick.
genius.
And it was all like a seedy, dirty old man.
Yeah.
And then it kind of changed into slapstick. Like,
I
don't think they needed that. They could have just stayed on par with his character.
Completely
Do
agree.
that crazy genius stuff, and you go, "Oh wow, he's a genius."
Yeah.
And he's a sicko.
Yeah.
And then leave it at that.
When he read out his resume, I was like, "Oh."
They don't need the machine gun bit. They didn't need it.
No.
And also, that's another gun.
Yeah, no. I was just, stop taking guns. Fucking America.
All right, what do you got? Casts, etc.
Director, go on.
Director, writer. Who wrote it?
Director. I'm gonna write it for you, buddy.
12 people wrote it.
So
probably.
yeah, there was an adapter, a screenplay, a story. So the main writer was Jonathan Hensleigh,
Okay.
who's done Die Hard with a Vengeance,
Okay.
Shit.
The Saint,
Yeah.
Okay.
The Punisher, the TV series.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Jumanji.
the Netflix one.
Yeah, the new Jumanji movies.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he's right. He's right there.
He's
with
got a
comedy.
resume.
Unfortunately, his last movie was Ice Road
Oh.
with Liam Neeson, and it is legitimately
It's an abomination.
the worst movie I've seen in about 5 years.
It's fucking awful.
And I love Liam Neeson. I'm begging for it, and I love Lawrence Fishburne.
I think I got 8 minutes into Ice Road.
Yeah,
Maybe not even that far.
I watched the
And
whole.
I usually watch that shit like.
I watched the whole
whatever,
thing
just-
with a dumbfounded look on my face the whole time, going,
Yeah, it's a stinker.
Yeah, right.
"Oh, I hope Lawrence saves this movie." Oh, never mind.
Every
No,
one of these.
Lawrence is not saving this movie. He's underwater
Yeah.
now.
Every one of these Liam Neeson movies that comes out, I'm like, this is going to be the one.
Oh, it's taken on ice.
This will be like his comeback after doing B grade action films for like 10 years after Taken.
Yeah.
Just
And I'm
riding
like,
that wave, baby.
this will be the fucking one that brings it. Like the Marksman, was it last year?
Oh my
It's like,
God.
this is going to be the one.
It's not.
They're never the one. He's done. Stop watching him. I'm telling that to myself.
Because Taken on the Train was okay, right?
Yeah, I love that.
That was good. Non-stop.
Whatever that was called. Yeah, non-stop.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Then the one in the plane as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, was that non-stop?
That was the memory one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
And the new one, Blacklight,
Blacklight.
I'm not going to watch
it's going to
it.
be shit.
I don't know. As soon
By
as
God, I'm going to watch it.
Liam Neeson, CIA. Ugh. I can't anymore. Stop torturing me like this.
That
No,
was-
I'm going to.
The screenplay was actually done by J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shit.
Yeah.
So you can see his kind of input in it.
Yeah,
but,
a little bit.
Everyone knows who he is. I don't have to go through the movies on that one, do I?
No, he's very famous.
It was directed by Michael Bay, of course.
Yep.
We've got
Yep.
into him.
Yep. Here's the explosions guy.
Yes.
I just would like to say with Michael Bay,
Yeah.
this is really emblematic of his strengths and weaknesses as a director.
Oh, yeah.
So the explosions were fucking cool. The
shuttle launch
I was
was
about to say
fucking spectacular.
exactly what I was about to say. The shuttle launch was great.
It's real footage.
I found the really
Yeah, real footage.
right. He did
Based on a true story. It's found footage. They found it in Michael Bay's trailer.
The actual action scenes, though, I think he's got much better at doing. I found him a little too hectic. I got a little confused. Like when there's
Oh, don't watch Ambulance then.
really.
Oh.
All I want to know
It's another level.
when there's something when there's some shit hitting the fan and there's some stuff going down. I want to be able to keep track of who's where.
Yep.
I don't like getting lost. There was actually the scene with the Russian cosmonaut where they're refueling, right?
Legend.
Where Ben Affleck's in the tube thing.
Yeah.
That all got real messy and hectic.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know where anyone was.
Well, they did.
Or who was who.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they
so
needed
ended
to
up-
do something with the costumes.
Well,
or
what they ended up
just
doing was that
identifying
screen with the
markers.
dots.
Yeah, yeah.
And I almost felt like that was done in post.
Probably
They were
was.
like, oh, fuck, we've lost track of everything. And I got an idea.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll have the people tracker machine. And it's like, doot, doot, doot. That dot is Ben Affleck. So, yeah, that was really symptomatic of what I found to be a little bit too hectic. The when the crash landing was the same sort of thing.
Yep.
Like it didn't. It just felt a little bit too.
It
might have been editing too. It might not have been fully Michael Bay's fault. It might have been the way it was edited as well. It's chop, 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 chop.
So it's Owen Wilson and another guy dies.
Yeah.
You see Owen Wilson die.
Yeah. He
the other guy,
for everyone listening at home.
I assume, just like fell asleep at the wheel. Like, where did he go?
Yeah.
The guy wants to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found that it showed what he's good at and what he's not great at, and then the other shots, the more standard shots throughout, were like the most rudimentary, basic directing you can do. So it's like guy talking. Front-on shot of guy talking to camera, and the next guy. There wasn't any.
Oh, a lot of the cameras swing a lot.
Yeah, but
create that kind of that Tony Scott kind of cameras swinging around to create a bit of.
I didn't really.
You didn't notice it,
not
or
so
you
much.
didn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't really notice it so much. I didn't. There wasn't like when we're watching these things through the jaundiced eye of a critic.
Yeah.
Like I find I'm watching more for something that's a little bit different or a little bit like I'm like, oh fuck, that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the only one that I can visualize right now is Owen Wilson riding the horse over the hill with the helicopter.
So good.
So like I was like, that's cool.
That reminded me of
that's
Bad Boys
quintessential.
a lot with the sunrise and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that in Bad Boys.
So-
and The Rock, actually. So.
I think this is relatively early in Michael Bay's career, I guess.
Yeah.
Like first third of his career or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably first, yeah.
So I think
in terms of time, but
Yeah.
it's probably also the best period of his career.
Probably, yeah.
Arguably,
Yeah, he was smashing out some biggies. But like I
Before
think
he
this
did
was
his Transformers run for like 12 years.
Yeah, just going to make Transformers movies now. Yeah, I think it showed what he was really good at and what he probably needs to work on, Michael.
Yeah, well, now he's discovered drones.
Oh,
so he discovered drones in, as I mentioned at every episode, 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Yeah, it's fucking great. But he discovered drones in that, and he uses them so beautifully. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But then in Ambulance, he's got the drones out again.
Yeah.
And like almost the entire film shot with drones. So now he's gone like full crazy.
It is incredible. Just
depends what you like. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I loved Ambulance. I thought it was really cool.
I'm looking forward to watching it. Also, drones are a huge game changer in in the visual arts.
No shit.
Like you used to have to hire a helicopter for that shit.
Yeah. You can work with a very small budget now and have some very incredible shots.
Yeah.
Like, set making shots.
Yeah.
Anyway, the cast. So I thought Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, and Liv Tyler were the worst. I didn't think they had anything to work with. Sure, they had the love story.
That's
And
fair.
they were supposed to have an emotional feel to them, but you're kind of... I fast-forwarded the animal crackers love scene, whatever it was. Because you don't mess with food.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ben Affleck has been in some of the worst fucking intimate scenes of
Really
all time.
has.
Yeah, I was thinking gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
So, for me, Billy Bob was A-grade in this.
Yes. Yep.
Steve Buscemi was Steve Buscemi at his finest.
100%. Yep.
And I'm not going into the movies. Everyone knows who they are by now.
Yeah.
And we can touch more on it, I don't know, whenever I'm not hosting. One of my favourite people is William Fichtner. He played the US Colonel.
Yeah.
He was perfect at his role. He was
was
a straight shooter.
Yep.
He'd do anything.
He's
And
good,
you
that guy.
realise why he's doing the nuke. It's not about being an asshole. It's about saving his two kids at home. So when he tells Bruce Willis to swear on my kids, I welled up on that.
Yeah.
bit.
You got a well.
I got a weld. Because I love William Fichtner.
Also,
I love him.
He actually didn't make that promise either.
No.
He didn't
just
use those
said,
words.
I've never quit.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, good enough."
Okay, I'll just have
Because I
this.
need you to swear on my children. He goes, "I'm not going to do that." He goes, "Well, fuck it, I'll whatever."
And then I thought really impressed me in this movie was Michael Clarke Duncan. I got a little bit on this.
Okay.
So he was hired. It's his first movie. He's done little bits of TV shows. First movie. He auditioned and it's hilarious. He's like this big, huge presence guy.
Yeah.
He gets to the movie, starts shooting, and he's too nervous. His scenes are all shit. So Michael Bay, Bruce Willis pull him aside and say, "I need you to be on that, what you were doing in the audition, or we're getting someone else." So that woke
Big
him
rhymes.
up. And then, and then
It's you or him.
and then he went 120%, like added more, and they loved it. They loved it.
He doesn't do it for me, Michael Clarke. He never has. I find him to be one of those gimmick guys.
Yeah.
Where if he wasn't a massive Hulk of a man,
What a presence when he's holding that wrench, fella.
physically, but if he wasn't that massive Hulk of a man, then none of his shit works.
Yeah.
So it's like a gimmick
Yeah,
and he has to rely on that through everything.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
Because I love him. Also,
Well, that's
Peter
good enough
Stormare.
for me. You win.
You make a fair point.
Peter Stormare. He was great in this. Like every time he opens
he's
his mouth,
the Russian.
Oh yeah,
very bloody
he's in Ramstein.
stereotype, but the
He's
actor
in every
himself
movie as well.
is incredible.
Yeah.
And you remember he's got a presence of it. He can do characters, man.
He's still churning
Because
out
when he
movies,
did
man.
Fargo with Steve Buscemi,
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
What
he's
a
actually a good
performance.
actor.
He's had a 30-year, 200-movie career.
yeah, Jurassic Park.
He does a lot
Constantine.
of shit
Yeah.
in his native tongue as well. He's Swedish in real life.
Right, yeah, I knew he wasn't Russian.
Yeah, no, he's not Russian. But he plays any European you want.
It's just like we need a nondescript Eastern
Oh, man.
European.
Just
Bring up
bring up a list of the nationalities he's played over the years.
Yeah, so he's
So
really good.
He was one of heaps of that guys, and you mentioned a couple before with the two guys in the first scenes, Eddie Griffin and
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Cooper. There was heaps of recognisable faces.
Keith
in this.
David.
Yeah.
Keith David. He's been on the pod mentioned a
Yeah,
lot. He was a colonel.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. He was a real downer.
He's just following orders.
Just a fucking real glass half empty guy.
That's a really important scene when Billy Bob goes, you know, it's a bullshit order, like that stuff as well. When you start,
and Billy Bob's guys, they committed treason for him.
Yeah, they did.
What a good leader. He should have been coach of that fucking.
Yeah, they got. Did you watch the end credit scenes? They all get executed. And then Will Patton.
Yep.
In this plays Will Patton, but in this he found his niche. Will Patton is Will Patton, and from every movie from here on out, Will Patton plays Will Patton, and it's perfect.
Yeah, in every movie,
a loyal dude, a tongue-in-cheek dude. He's always going to be Will Patton.
Yeah.
And he's been in every movie ever since. So
he is really good
fucking movie.
So
is he a friend of the pod? Can I ask the question?
No,
he's got to be.
Got more on that.
Out of circle.
Oh
no, yeah, I've got more on that. Yeah,
okay.
And then Owen Wilson did Anaconda before this. Nothing at all. Then Owen Wilson plays this character, and then all of a sudden, Owen Wilson finds Owen Wilson. I know about that
Bottle Rocket
and stuff like that.
He was in some
but
other
major blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Yeah. But he had already established himself as like a comedic actor.
Yeah, but in this, I think he found Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay. Owen Wilson finds Owen Wilson, and from here on out, Owen Wilson plays Owen Wilson. Apart from No Escape, where Owen Wilson plays. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's actually my notes say Owen Wilson. He was in the movie.
Yeah.
He didn't get much to work.
He didn't. He didn't get a lot.
So he had his little cameo. He's a cameo almost, isn't he?
Yeah,
he wasn't big enough to be a cameo at that point. But if you watch it now, knowing who else Owen Wilson is, you're like, Owen Wilson's doing a cameo.
So I guess it was a little surprising he died so early because he's Owen Wilson. But at the time, you were like, it's about time.
Same thing happened to him in Anaconda. So you follows a path, I guess. Yep. And that's it for things. And now, which brings me to my next point. You mentioned it earlier.
Will Patton.
I want to put it to the group. Will Patton, I feel, has to be a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
How many movies have we done with him?
Oh,
well, he's in every movie ever, so 21.
Third or fourth.
Yeah. I couldn't even list him. He's probably even in some of the movies we didn't realise he was in that we've watched.
Yeah.
He was in Into the Blue.
Yeah.
You just didn't know it. He was just there. He was just playing a guy. No, he was just playing, not a character actor. He plays Will Patton.
Yeah.
He was just a guy.
He's
He was the school teacher
James Gunn's
teacher at the school in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And you just saw him for a moment as Paul Walker went past the school.
Paul Walker walked past and Will Patton gave him some advice, like don't always go into the water when it's deep.
That was it. You don't remember?
And that was it.
He was just super loyal.
So for me, as host of the pod,
film.
I would like to nominate Will Patton as friend of the pod.
I accept your nomination.
I'll vote
yes.
in the affirmative.
Congratulations, Will Patton. Probably a highlight career.
Yeah,
yeah, it would be.
Highlight of his career.
Let's add him and let him know.
Friend of the pod. Friend of the pod. Will Patton. Billy Bob. For me, not yet.
Not yet.
You know the problem with Billy Bob?
He's too good.
He's almost too good to be a friend of the pod. Because the friends of the pod are traditionally the lesser knowns, right?
Yep.
Whereas Billy Bob's not a lesser known. He's almost an A-lister, isn't he? Or at least at some point in his career, he definitely has been an A-lister.
He was at one point. Yeah.
Whereas none of our other friends of the pod are ever going to be A-listers. Have ever been and will ever be.
So I was going to do Sling Blade next week, so we're not doing.
If you do Sling Blade, then he can be a friend.
I love Sling Blade.
Yeah,
I don't see no reason to kill nobody again.
Okay, so hostages it is.
I'm a big fan of Sling Blade. I've got a few fun facts, not much because you know what I'm like.
Hit me.
So NASA shows this movie for their training, for management training.
I've heard this before, and it's just not for that. You've obviously changed that then.
What do you mean? Like I've changed the writing?
No, I've heard this 1,000 times that NASA used this movie to show what not to do in space.
True story.
This is what
and their goal is to find mistakes, and the total at the moment is 168 errors.
Okay. Well, you added a bit of weight to it.
Yeah, in the first,
You had a number.
Yeah,
in the first scene,
the number got me.
There's like 94 there, and then the rest is like.
I've definitely heard that over the years, like in general conversation, or maybe on other movie podcasts.
When I was in Florida, I went to NASA and I signed up for the managing training.
I thought it was in Houston.
I don't know where it is, Ken. I was. It was in America.
Actually, I think there is one in Florida.
Tampa, we have a problem.
No, there is. They launched Apollo.
I did the managing training, and at the end they go, "How many mistakes were there?" And I went, "Mistakes." I just stared at them blankly. And they went, "Yeah, how many?" I went, "What are you talking about?"
Have you ever considered that you're wrong and Michael Bay's right?
I mean, look.
Prove it to me.
I'm not saying that your factoid is incorrect, but I kind of expected NASA's training to be more rigorous than showing them.
No, this is a
pass this test. You're in.
This is a management training. So it's just
it's for managers.
Yeah, it's for managers training.
High level.
So what this
level.
means is like it's a get together with your mates. Your managing mates.
They do a couple of trust falls.
Yeah. Trust falls and Armageddon. What's not to like?
Fuck. What else you got?
That's it. No, I've also got the shuttle launches as well. Spectacular.
So you used real footage.
It was real footage. They used a camera and
They didn't launch the shuttles for this film though.
no, there were shuttles were being launched
And they filmed
borrowed
it.
so, and they were allowed to put cameras closer than the cameras normally go.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
And the cameras for these,
It's well shot.
once it was done, exploded, shattered. It was too much for them.
Yeah.
So the close-in cameras, no more. Classic Michael Bay. Should have used it.
It's like, guys, can you do it again? My camera fucked up.
Do we need?
Do
we need to find out if this will work? I said, put the fucking cameras under the shuttle. So yeah, that was all real, and yeah, I don't have much anything else really. I'm all out. I'm all out of love.
That was good.
I want to touch more on Bruce Willis. I'll probably do that more in the mini-sode next week.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I guess that's it's time to redeem or nail it to the cross.
I'll go first if you want.
How about
Okay.
I got some dot points. You ready for my dot points?
Yeah, I need your dot points.
Yeah,
this is new.
I've got dot points.
It's closer than you think.
Michael Bay, dot point 1. Global apocalypse. Cheesy, but not satire. And I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Brilliant cast who all hold their own. Surprisingly moving. I cried a lot. 5 times, 6 times if I had not missed that bit with the hand on there.
Yeah, the fucking pivotal bit.
Non-stop from start to finish. Highly suspenseful. Felt the third act very suspenseful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Plenty of comic relief. It's literally a perfect universal blockbuster. So in summary, I give it 90. And if you disagree with that, then I'll detonate the nuke after the 0 threshold zone so we all die.
Wow. Okay. Yep.
For me,
90.
90.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like, I
hell.
love it.
yeah, it's good. 90's a good score.
Yeah.
For me, I have a lot of nostalgia about this film. I remember loving it. And on my probably 5th time watching it, I remember loving it. This time, however, I found too many plot holes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I've done it to you. Sorry, Duff.
I've got a little bit of plot holes. The plot holes bother me.
Yeah.
The comedy was way too much.
Yeah.
The love story is annoying. And the science is all wrong. And you know what? I don't give a fucking shit. I don't care.
Coming back around.
I do not care. The
mystery.
movie is a steaming pile of testosterone. I get that.
A steaming pile.
And I know what this movie is. I know what it was, and I know what it always will be for me.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it again sometime in the future. And then you know what? I'll feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
I got so fucking laughable, some of the mistakes, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
I'm with you.
I find the co-stars stole the show. Poor old Brucey was stuck there with not much to do, but he did okay. Billy Bob held it down, bring you back to reality, and then the co-stars would take the movie away from him again. And that was the genius of it. everyone I cared about. And sometimes I cared about him too much. Owen Wilson was a big death scene for me. It was a big death scene. Max going into the airplane was a big death scene. I only wish Ben Affleck died when he hugged Liv Tyler and a piece of space rocket landed on top of him at the end.
Ben Affleck so much?
Because of his fucking pants and Mallrats, Ken. Anyway, for me, the movie's sick. I love it, and I give the movie exactly the same as Ken. Another 90, baby.
Fuck, it's huge.
Coming in strong.
All right.
Okay, Ben. Lay it on me. Earmuffs.
So for me, it felt really uneven in tone. It's a movie about a cataclysmic global event that tried too much to be too funny. Is it meant to be an action comedy? I guess it is the answer to that. As a result, I found it kind of hard to get invested in it. And the lack of emotional weight caused by some clunky dialogue and some overblown melodrama meant that even when there was an emotional moment, other than a couple that you've mentioned there, I didn't really feel like it built any tension or anything. The fucking Goodbye song was terrible. When
that song's going to be the outro of this.
Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane.
I've changed my fucking mind. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, so as I said before, a couple of things. Just about every character's death except Bruce I didn't really care about. Bruce got me. And I'm glad he did because he just, for the most part, he wasn't.
It's
really
not confirmed that he dies, though. Just
You're right. We needed to see his face peel back.
Yeah, we wanted a face peeler. Or for him to be dissolved inside a shark.
Yeah.
It needed a more ruthless edit. It was a bit too long, and it concentrated on the wrong parts of the story, especially the romantic subplot, which was just fucking rammed down our throats way too much. If they spent more time on script and less time on effects, I would have probably preferred it. That said, some parts did look really cool. All the closer-up shots to Asteroid were good in the third act. I liked that stuff.
Yeah, the set was good, right?
Yeah.
We didn't love to talk about that at all. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, the gas cloud and the debris, the surface of the rock, etc. And Michael Bay does good explosions.
he sure does.
I expected it to be rah, fucking USA, but even the extent to which it was kind of surprised me.
There's a few flags.
But also like no other country in the world has any input on this whatsoever. Yeah. They're like, we got this. America's like, fucking, we got this, right? Yeah.
And they did.
At one point, they're like, there's only 8 telescopes in the world capable of seeing it, and we control 7 of them. And the 8th one's that bloke who hates his wife.
He hates his wife.
Yeah. I think the best metaphor for this movie, and you might have missed this moment, but I thought it was it was the best metaphor for the thing. There's the montage at the end where the asteroid is actually exploding, and they're going through the montage of people watching it. And there's a moment where this is where humanity is being saved by the roughnecks, and there's 2 families go to the window, 2 windows. One family looks up at the beautiful explosion of their lives being saved, and the other bloke can't see because there's a fucking massive American flag hanging in front. I remember it. I noticed that as well. Like, that is a metaphor for this movie if ever I saw one. So I was expecting big, dumb entertainment, but I was kind of only mildly entertained. Yeah, I didn't hate it at all.
Yeah.
I was willing to suspend disbelief at the premise. I haven't lived under a fucking giant asteroid. I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I knew what to expect in terms of I knew they sent Bruce Willis up there to drill holes in a fucking asteroid. So I could suspend disbelief for that. And I didn't give the science any second thought. It just wasn't quite engaging enough to suck me into its gravitational slipstream. Yeah. It was pretty mediocre.
You are going to write for the AV Club soon.
It was pretty mediocre. I'm sorry, I can't redeem it.
Oh.
I'm giving it 46.
Okay. I expected worse, so that's okay.
46. Yeah. That's it. What are we doing next? The minisodes next week. What are we doing? Bruce Willis movies.
Probably do Bruce Willis movies.
And
talk
then
about that, I think.
What from Armageddon was fact and fiction?
Probably
just a quick quiz.
Or we're going to talk about the 168 things that are wrong with the aeronautics or whatever you call it.
What mistakes?
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll also
tune in.
Announce the next movie, I guess.
On the minisode.
Yeah. So tune in next week for that one.
It's my pick. So excited. I'm fucking genuinely pumped for this one.
Right.
Am I going to enjoy it?
Yeah, you are.
Fuck yeah.
I'll make you a solemn promise.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening. That has been The Redeemables.
That's a goddamn what a rush.
Bye.